Grand Rising, one and all. How are you doing? How are you doing? How are you doing? Let's see if I can get the volume down on this. Maybe a little too loud. See if I can get some people up in there. Hetepu, hetepu, neteru. Grand Rising, welcome, 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 one and all. Akwaba. Gonna have a very special event today. We got Dina Dean, our grandma brother. A very special event today with Daughters of Earth, Ain South, UK, ISOLT. So we're gonna have a big one. It's gonna get some invites going out here. Some people are into the live, watching, spread the knowledge out a little bit. So just give me a moment, guys. Hope you guys are having a good day. Be feeling airy. So just give me a moment, I will be right back. I'll be right with you. Okay. You can just enjoy the music in the background at the moment. Grand Rising, everyone, Grand Rising. So, I sent out the invites. Well, I'm going to wait for everyone to join, actually, because it's a very special one today. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring our guests to the floor. And as we get the ball rolling, we'll have people join. So, Earth consciousness and sustainability. Actually, I guess let's see the link. Here we are. Tepu Neteru. Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. How are you, sister?
Hey, sorry, I was just adjusting that.
Yes.
You caught me off guard there. Oh, greetings. I'm good. I'm really good. Yeah, thank you for inviting me on your what do you call
Instagram.
it? You know, I'm new to social media, so I didn't even know these terminologies.
Yeah, Instagram live. I don't think many people would even grasp that there's someone out here that's not used to social media. So this is your first Instagram live ever, yes?
It is. I mean, in the space of what would you say, like 6 weeks, I've had to sign up with Facebook, LinkedIn, what else? Twitter, Instagram. TikTok, yeah, I've got TikTok as well. It's a minefield, I'm telling you, man. It's
Social media. Yes, it's an interesting one, social media. There's a lot going on, and there's so many different social platforms, and you'd think they all behave the same, but Nah, they've all got their own unique way of operating and their own algorithms, and it's all databases at the back at the end of the day. It's all databases when you get to the fundamental root of everything. But it's just how interesting they present themselves, really. Yeah, man. So, how are you doing today, Sister Golda?
No, I'm good. I yeah, it's been busy, but it's been good. It's been very productive. So I was up at 6 o'clock, went into my little what I call my little sweat lodge. So I had a little meditation in there and did some work, and then come out of there, jumped on the laptop, went into work, did a little meeting at work, and then come out of there, had a healing session with this afternoon. And
It's
then
been a busy day.
come out there, yam some food, and now I'm here.
It's been a busy day then. It's been a busy day to say the least.
But it's productive, and I
Yes.
feel wow, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's Irie. That's Irie. Been a bit busy. I started I was up till hours o'clock this morning, so I had a few hours sleep. But then when I got up about 9 o'clock, I decided I had a few phone calls, and then I wanted to get out of the house because I've not been able to get out of the house for the past few weeks. So I actually rode down to Victoria Park,
Nice.
and I had quite an interesting moment in Victoria Park earlier today with Kepa Onk, the son. And,
Mhm.
and by the time I got back home, I seen another rainbow around the sun again today.
Another one,
Another
nice.
circle rainbow all the way around the sun. This time there was two spots where there was like two little dark patches,
Uh,
and it couldn't tell if it was a cloud or what it was, but it was quite interesting to see that it was, I think the third day in a row we've had a complete circle rainbow around the sun
right.
in London. So it's a bit like, okay, I'm not so used to this many circle rainbows in my lifetime.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the sun is an interesting energy, as you well know, and when I see the sun, I see several suns, and I see it has a black ring around it, and
Mm,
there's always different energies coming out of the sun. So they're very sort of like electric blues, electric reds, electric pinks. And so these are the frequencies and energies that are associated with the sun, and they're actually beings of consciousness. I mean, I could give you a
mm.
whole talk on on the sun consciousness, and well, we won't even go there.
I've got a cousin who would love to get into that conversation. Ranubis, he might join the room in a little while. Um, Said he's just going to be in another meeting, and then he'll probably pop over as we get into this. That's interesting. I, um, I've been sun gazing since my teens, and I remember being in Jamaica in 17, 18, 19, and on the beach in the morning, we'd get up and we'd go and do some training. And because we're up at so early, 5:30, 6 o'clock, I'd always have the opportunity to see it first thing in the day. And it always appear black to me, like the actual sun itself. You could see
Mm,
the aura of light around it, but the actual ball itself looked pretty much as black as your pupil,
yeah,
which was quite mind blowing. So I'd have to ask myself, how much energy would it take to manifest light from a black object? Like a black light bulb. You see red light bulbs and blue light bulbs back in the day.
well,
Not like now when
mm,
when you've got the little LED
yeah,
things and change colors. I mean, the actual source of light itself was a black bulb. How much energy would it take to
yeah,
produce light?
yeah. But the thing about it, if you think about it, the light comes from the dark. Now, my understanding is like light is birthed, and all of creation is birthed through a polarization process. So
Hmm.
when you consolidate light, when it's back to its perfection, light is actually black. In is back to black. And I don't want to go into the physics of it all, but if I break it down simply like this, because I know you're into sort of like your Kemetic stuff.
Yeah.
So if you think about a saw, right? So so remember the story about the saw when he was cut up into 14 pieces, and then a set had to bring those pieces back together. Well, when light is birthed, it's birthed through a polarization process. So it's a diffusion process. So so basically, it's no longer in its wholeness. It's being broken in parts, and then when you bring all those parts back together, so all those parts back together, it brings it back to its perfection. Because remember, the name for Osiris, he had a name. What was it? Do you remember what his name was? The perfect black. When all his pieces were brought back together by the goddess, he was known as the resurrected and the perfect black, wasn't he?
Oh wow! I didn't know the perfect black name. That's deep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was the diffusing of the light, and when all the light comes back together and is consolidated in its holistic true form, so it's no longer polarized, so it's in a state of oneness, you have black.
That's deep. I've never heard that concept. But you know what? The people would love to hear these perspectives. That's why I brought you on the live. I was like, no. I need to bring you on the live first, and then introduce you to the world, and then we get into some conversation. We got my brother Radar Stannar in the place. We got who passed through today. We've had Truth pass through. We've had Kate Say pass through. You get me? Yeah, man. We had Dino Dean passing through. You get me? So big up everyone who's passed through on the live. Welcome. We're having a deep conversation about Earth consciousness and sustainability. This is are you the founder of AINSO, CEO? How should we pronounce you?
Yeah. Right? You don't even know who you're interviewing, right? Just make anybody come on, innit?
Open heart, you know what I mean? Unconditional love, country.
So yeah, I am the founder. So just a little bit about me. So I call myself a sort of like a metaphysical practitioner, and sort of like my journey. You know, I've walked many paths. So you know, I've been a part of like the Pan-African movement, part of the Hebrew Israelites, being a part of Nation at one point, African spirituality, and then going into all the Kemetic stuff, the Buddhism, and then into like the Druids and the Wiccans, and then there was a time I was into all the Shivaism and the and sort of like
Hindu.
Yeah, the Hindu pantheon, but the old stuff, not this new stuff. The Shivism and also the animism of the Dravidians, the original Indian people.
Of course.
Yeah. And then, you know, from the Christian aspect, the Essenes and the Gnostics, and then even Sufism from Islam, because Sufism is sort of like the spiritual side of Islam.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard of Sufism, but I didn't really get to go much into it. Okay.
Yeah, so I walked a path, but then in walking that path, I realised, you know what, everything's the same, really. They're no different. They're the one thing, but they're different representations of the one thing. So then I was guided by my higher self, whatever you want to call it, to, okay, to take the journey inwards now. There was a real kind of like awakening in terms of understanding my own consciousness and where my what the consciousness was about and where my consciousness was at, and a whole process of healing myself so that I could kind of like break out of this consciousness that I've been, I don't know, brought up in. So whether it's cultural or society or the education we received, or whether it's the job that we do, or it's religion, these were all dogmas which really had nothing to do with my soul whatsoever. And so it was
blessings.
So it was breaking through all those I don't know, I call them ideologies that are being pushed on us to mold us into a certain way. So you have to then when you understand the science of it, then you have to try and break out of that mold, and it is so difficult. That is just the hardest thing to do. And so that's been my journey.
I think Chung Lee said, sorry to interrupt, Chung Lee said breaking generational cycles.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the genetics and the epigenetics. So
is it okay if I kind of probably highlight on our experience of how I've met you and so forward, because
you can.
I guess most people might not understand how we've met or why I'm interviewing you on my live or anything. I'm a musician to most of my music people. Like, they know I'm into metaphysics and so forward. So for everyone to grasp how I met Golda at the Nyabinghi Tabernacle, or the Nyabinghi House, the Rasta House in Birmingham, around 2012.
I couldn't even remember. I couldn't even remember you.
Because it's been so long since we've seen each other. And I think at the time you was doing yoga.
Yeah.
Was it what do they call it? Is it tantric yoga, or was it, what was the name of the fire yoga?
No, it was creation. It was creation yoga, and it's based upon the Kemetic yoga. So from Muta's yoga.
All I know is it helped my back. At the time, I had very bad problems, and it was helping my back. And then I remember we had a chakra cleansing. Yes, that was weird. You know what bugged me out about that one? I told people about this all the time. I've never told you. Yes, it's a bit weird you saying this on the live now. That all I remember is the meditation. They said you've given me the meditation, said core of the moon, so we're there, and I could see the eye of all set there in my meditation. Then when I've come back to, I've got like 6 stones on my body, 7 stones on my body. I'm like, when did these get on my body?
The crystals.
Well, it was such a powerful cleansing for me, like, because I learned a lot about myself in that cleansing, and what happened afterwards, obviously I'll just keep that privately, but I think that's probably one of the core reasons why I wanted to bring you personally onto my live and introduce you to people myself. We got Ellis, right, Ellis, because of the what I've gained from being around you and learning from you and that experience. I know a lot of people haven't been able to meet someone like yourself. Because there are others in the community that do similar things, if not the same thing. So it's just many people maybe are a bit wary because, again, unfortunately, coming through the colonized Christianity, which is different to the Orthodox in many respects, a lot of things get demonized.
Yeah.
I hear people demonize Buddhism, which is quite interesting, right? Because when you, as a Tai Chi student, I comprehend Taoism. I comprehend Tao in a way. So when I got to read the Metu Netta, and it broke Buddhism down on the next level and explained Zen and all of these things. So it was like, so if Zen is a heavenly state, how could that be ungodly? You know, that was the question that was bugging around in my head.
Well, the truth is they don't know. I bet the people that demonize it, they've never actually even looked at it or read it or practiced. So you know, as soon as somebody tells me, oh, you shouldn't be doing that, that's the worst thing ever, because I'm going to go and look into it to see why I shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah, curiosity. Yeah, they say curiosity killed the cat. Well, I'm still alive.
No, it never killed me. It made me wiser.
Yeah, I learned more. I studied more. So that's definitely one of the core reasons why I decided to bring you here on my live as well and introduce you, because of my own personal experience. So again, opening up into the event that you're going to be hosting this, is it July the 20th?
Yes. So it's
June 20th,
yes,
sorry, is that correct?
Sorry, June 20th. So it's on the summer solstice, which is a important gateway for people who really want to accelerate in their spiritual growth and development. So the event is it's called Earth Consciousness and Sustainability, and effectively what it's about is about sustaining your consciousness, because sometimes, you know, we get these revelations and you know, we get these ideas, but they're so conflicting against kind of like society. A lot of us, we just put them down and say, well, no, not can't bother with that, but it's important that you do follow through on that. And so the event is really talking about sort of like the consciousness of the earth, you know, what that is, the consciousness of your mind, body, soul, spirit, and also the consciousness of your space, and some practical tips on how you can sustain a spiritual development, a pure and proper, real spiritual development, whilst dealing with kind of like some of the societal norms. Well, basically, just ignore all the norms and go for that. but no, I have some kind of like tips. So what I'll be presenting on is in kind of like an evolved soul's reality.
Yes.
I'm going to be talking about X, Y, and Z is going to be existing. So let me just give you some examples. So in the condition that we're in now, in this world that we live in now, apparently if you hear voices and talk to spirits and stuff, they'll want to put you in the loony bin, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
It's a bit funny, because like in the Bible, everybody heard voices and spoke to this and that.
Moses spoke to the burning bush, for Christ's sake. Like,
so in my world, this is normal. If I didn't hear voices, that would be abnormal.
Yeah.
I'm communicating with different aspects of myself on different levels, and so these beings, whether they be galactic or elemental or ancestral, I'm communicating with them all the time. Also, I'm communicating with nature, so I'm communicating with the trees, with the earth, with the water. So in an evolved earth or evolved society, there will be a collaboration with the other kingdoms, with nature. So anything that we're doing, there's a collaboration. You have regard to your environment. You will have regard to the animals or the plants that are in your environment. And so that's what an evolved soul does. That's how an evolved soul lives and practice. They communicate with every living thing, because we are pure consciousness. The earth consciousness, you're a ball of consciousness. The space is a consciousness. So even communicating with your space and the energies that make your space. And so So this all seems all a bit extreme to some people and out there, but to me, it's just natural because everything is consciousness. So you commute, you merge with everything. So even walking down the road or connecting with the sun, you like sun gazing, but it's more than sun gazing. You're actually communicating.
Yeah. Well, see, a lot of people would consider that out of this world. How do you talk to the sun? It's not going to talk back to you, but it's a limitation of the physical self that comes with these questions. You know, I remember reading of Water and Spirit by Malidoma Patrice Some.
Yeah,
He's from Burkina. Yes, he's from Burkina Faso, Burkina. That was going through the chaos. Now, in his book, he talks about his initiation. You know, obviously he was kidnapped by the Jesuits at 5 years old. His granddad was a shaman. His dad's the oldest. He's the oldest. So he's supposed to be potentially a shaman when he gets to the elder age. But his book's really about his initiation. And because when he ran away from the boarding school, because they took him to a boarding school after they had him in the church for the primary school age, secondary school, but he was far away from his village. So at 16 or 17, in his book, he said he was outside, you know, having a cigarette. And while he's waiting for his mate to come out and meet him, he's seen his granddad at the end of like the garden. And his granddad was like, yo, come on, it's get come on. And he's like, granddad? Granddad? So when his friends touched him, he's like, yo, dude, you look white, like you just seen a ghost. It's like, my granddad, can you see him? And he's like, dude, there's no one there. But, he ended up running away and running home. You know, from 5 to 17, that's a whole 12 years not being home. So by this point, he's learned French, doesn't know his native language anymore and all of this stuff. But he found his way home, and then he's had to do the initiation. They had a debate because he was of a certain age, and you know the cultural custom would be you'd be initiated by 16, you know, between 14 and 16, but he was like 17, 18, so but he did it because of his lineage. They said no, he's got to. And one of the second day of initiation, it took him 2 days, he said, because he said the other boys were getting through and he wasn't. So one of the elders came to him on the second day like, what can you see? And he was like, I see an antelope sitting down on its behind. And they all started laughing at him. And he explains that the reason why they laughed at him is because antelopes that sit down on their behind first, they go down on their front legs first. As do cows and goats and giraffes and elephants, they all go down on their front legs first. So he started crying. And he said when he started crying, he heard a voice talking to him. And when he opened his eyes, it was the tree he was looking at. It was a woman. And she had an aura around her, a glow. And she called him over. She gave him a hug. And she started telling him secrets of the universe. And she was teaching him things. And I'm like, a woman in a tree? What? How? Where? It's 18 years old in Jamaica. We're climbing trees to pick fruits and make money. We don't know nothing about tree have spirit and soul and could communicate with you. So it was very mind-blowing for me at that point. But it made me recognize, like, so if the tree's got a soul, then does that mean the grass has got a soul and, you know, everything else? And then I remember we used to grow a lot of food one day. And I remember sat down having a spliff one day in my back garden and sat down with the callaloo. And the callaloo started talking to me. Callaloo said, callaloo is confused, too much confusion. I'm like, what the hell is talking? What? Callaloo's confused, too much confusion. What? And I'm looking at the callaloo, like, are you talking? And they literally said, 5 generations ago, callaloo did not have confusion. Why? This one is playing music. That one is playing music. That one is playing music. They don't play the same song. They play different songs, and it's confusing to the callaloo. It's too much. And I know it blew my mind. I really had to think about that because there was like 3-4 sound systems in the area, all playing different songs, and I'm the callaloo saying it's confusing him. He needs silence. I'm like, yo, I don't really talk to people about it, but
Mm.
that made me realize there is a lot more to the world, to this earth than what we're given in school, what we're given in
Mm.
most of the modern religions. They cloud the real reality of what's in front of us, and so it's very important. I'm happy you're here to talk about these things
Mm,
because
no, it's a suppression. So because it is a suppression, because like you said, you don't normally talk about these things. There's a lot of people who have these experiences, but they don't say nothing because they don't want to be chastised. They don't want to be. They don't
you're
want to
mad,
be.
man.
Yeah,
You're crazy.
exactly. They don't want to be pointed at, but that is how you're supposed to be, because you're supposed to be able to communicate with everything that is alive, that has consciousness, that is around you. And so more people than you realize actually have these experiences, but they think they're weird, they think they're going, because I mean,
Up the
think
wall,
about
yeah. Off the wall, yeah.
it, yeah. And then maybe you might have even given up spliffs because you probably thought, oh, the spliff's gone to my brain. Let me give that up. So,
No, we talk too more, we're not like we talk to, why do we gotta be good, damn.
so, yeah. So this is what I was guided to be honest about and out there about, and say, look, this is normal. This is the normal way to be. And then and then it's just covering other points in society where they make you feel ashamed, or like you're stupid, or something,
Mm,
when in fact you're actually in tune. You're in tune with nature. You're in
mm,
tune with your soul. So then that causes you to suppress all that side, and then that suppression causes a whole load of things after that. Because any form of suppression, okay, you're talking about now self-worth issues, disempowerment issues,
wow.
trust issues of yourself, because you can no longer trust what's coming, because you've had to shut that down because people told you that was stupidness. And so it escalates.
That's
And
psychological damage, that is. That's a lot of psychological damage.
it is, because in my world, we're all the one thing, but we're all a unique part of that one thing.
Yeah.
So we shouldn't be taught the same. We shouldn't be looked at as the same. We shouldn't all think the same and do the same
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
That's not normal, but that's what we've been pushed into doing, into like
Hmm.
growing. Oh, this medicine will fit everybody, even though the symptoms might be the same, but how they came about those symptoms will be different. So there's been no kind of like looking at people from a unique perspective of that person. We've all been pushed into these things. So the other
A
thing is like,
generalization.
yeah, and the other thing is like education. Education, all they do is bombard you with information, but that's not education. That's just
Mm.
dogmatism. That's just training the brain to remember some stuff. I tell you what, when I was at university, right, I did no studying, and then the last 18 hours, I stayed up for 18 hours, revised, and went to my exam, passed the exam, but I can't remember the whole course because I just crammed it in my brain. You know what I mean? So
I mean, that's what we all do in the long run, isn't it? Like,
so education is really about bringing stuff out, because we're all unique. So to bring the
mm,
uniqueness out of each individual person,
mm,
because that's what's
mm,
needed. We don't need drones, everybody the same, walking the same way, doing the same thing. We need that unique aspect, because when all those souls' unique aspects come out, they make the whole then the whole comes together. But if everybody's doing and copying and doing the same thing, then it's imbalanced because you got a whole load of this and none of this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
so these are the society norms that I've been kind of like, I feel like being guided to really talk about and say, look, no, these are not normal things. These
Mm.
are how you train zombies so that they don't think for themselves, so that they don't express their true nature and their true self. And they do that by laughing at you, saying you're funny, saying you're mad, saying you're that. So then when you get chastised as a child, you're not gonna go into that. You're not gonna go
Mm.
there because you've been told that you're strange. And that's by design. That is by design.
Shoo. Yeah, yeah. I was trying to reason with a young cousin about this the other day. Tried to say that there's such a thing called mind control. He was like, no, no, there isn't. There's such a thing as not mind control. And I'm like, cause I sent him a Stephen Marley album. Like Stephen Marley sang about this in 2005. It's a whole
Mm.
album called Mind Control. So
All
it's
right.
yeah,
Okay.
it's not a new concept, but this generation is completely unaware of it. For example, I would consider trap music one of the mind control systems.
All right.
And the young generation might be upset with me for saying that, but I'd say, well, there is no other logical reason to why you would talk about duppying somebody on a track and mention that person's name. In the age of music I grew up on, that would be called dry snitching. And in the age of rap that I grew up in, which is the 90s, even though it was all gangster rap, the mentality back then was even if you was going to talk about your badness, you would be creative about it. You wouldn't outright call somebody's name after you've just put them in the grave. That's just upright and disrespectful in 100 terms.
Mm.
But this generation now is duped into this mentality where they think it's the way to go, and it's the way to be because the Spotify and the streaming and the YouTube and the hype of it all blindsides them to a reality that hip hop never started like this. Hip hop began as a way of carrying a message to the people. It's a child of reggae, and reggae's message was always a conscious message, even
Mm.
though it's been corrupted through power and greed for money and the industry, as we know. The root of it is consciousness and to bring consciousness to the people. So at its roots,
Mm.
hip hop is about consciousness. The very first few generations of hip hop rappers, they elevated people. Slick Rick, I never once heard
Yeah.
a Slick Rick song and he was talking tomfoolery and foolishness. I would always learn something. It sounded
Yeah.
like a story. His style was so cool. Will Smith copied it and gave us the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Well, this is a story of a how. That's all Slick
Yeah.
Rick. Like the style, the flow, the delivery, the storytelling. Like he mimicked him and turned it
Yeah.
into everyone's favorite show's punchline, openings thing. So, like, so there again, these are some of the blockages that I see have taken out the community, and where the next generation now they're very aware. When I was a teacher, I had a 15-year-old. I'm trying to teach him home economics, go to job, get a 9 to 5, look after your house, blah blah blah. He said, "I'm not doing that, sir." I'm like, "What do you mean about it?" It's all a zeitgeist. Zeitgeist. I was 25 when I learned about zeitgeist.
I don't know what that is.
Well, it's a movie on YouTube, right? And it just breaks down the whole economic system
Yeah.
and the powers that be and where they're coming from and how they've put this whole thing in place. So, I'm hearing this 14, 15-year-old break down the zeitgeist to me, and I'm 25 at the time. It blew my mind. I'm like, I knew nothing about the zeitgeist when I was 14. I knew about Babylon or Rome, but that's deep. So they know, but because they haven't got much guiding light and guides, the ones who probably we should be looking up to, the so-called celebrities and so forward, regardless of what they say in their music, outside of their music, they're not in the community.
Yeah.
Like your Bob Marley and your Prince and your Michael Jacksons. Those guys were actually in the community,
Yeah.
regardless of whatever bad people say about them, their public act, what they did after they got all of that wealth and everything. They were about their community. You know,
Yeah.
Bob Marley fed 3,000 people a day. He
Mm.
didn't ask for a penny. He didn't open a restaurant. He just fed people every single day. You know, so we've lost that. You know, the modern artists in reggae, I have to respect them because a lot of them send people's children to school. A lot of them pay for school fees, buy uniforms, buy books, you know, give lunch money. A lot of them go out of their way to support the community around them and help because there's no free schooling in Jamaica, you know.
Mm.
So, but in terms of the holisticness, there's a lot of ego, so we don't get a lot of unity in the reggae fraternity, unfortunately. And you know that's why I'm, you know, meeting you, hearing the message, especially what you're coming back with, because again, we've only been reintroduced recently after how many years?
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like, this is, yeah, the community, the whole community needs this, not just, you know, my circle of friends and who I talk to. There's
Mm.
people out there who need to meet people like yourself, and because you're one of the guiding lights that we have in the community. It's just not, you know, a celebrity as the movies and the music industry would have it, but in our spiritual circle, it's ones like yourself that are the ones that should be respected and upheld in the community because you've made that journey and you've gone that far and done the work and you're guiding people.
Well,
Yeah.
I'd like to think so. But, you know, don't put me up on no pedestal because then I got far to fall, man. So just keep me here. Just keep, yeah,
Humbly.
yeah. But just on that note, you know, with the youngsters and stuff like that, you know, we can't blame them
No,
because there are children, and if they turn out a certain way, then that's down to us.
it's the world we make for them, you know.
That's down to us. So so we really need to kind of like we need to fix up so that they can fix up, and you know, so just on that, and then you know, you mentioned about celebrities, and to be honest, whilst you know you have your celebrities and they've got money and that, but they're not free within their soul. You know, the celebrities are probably even worse. They're scared to say anything because when they say anything that isn't in alignment with
the
their
powers that
people,
be. Yeah.
that's it. They're out. Their career's done. So I even think they're more tied up than we are. You know, because we have to remember. I mean, that those celebrities, what you're seeing, that's just a front. That's their mask. That's their, you
Yeah,
know.
it's a persona they put on to please people and to
Yeah,
capture you. Yeah.
it's not real, and you know, I don't know how many celebrities who would live in the life but go and commit suicide, and they commit suicide because they're not living according to their soul. Their soul's depressed, their soul's suppressed, I would say. So you know, I wouldn't even look on them because I would say they're probably in the worst position, a
Then
worse
the regular people,
predicament. Yeah.
then just also living a 9 to 5, and because a lot of people when they hear my life story, they're like, "Oh, well, why didn't you go with this person or go with that person?" I say, you know, I've probably gone through that emotional phase of, "Oh, I wish I did that," but then now I've got older, I'm able to do this thing where I can get on a train any part of London and just go from here to here, meet random strangers and interact with people that if I was on that side of the fence, I would never be able to do this because the minute I step into the train station, it's going to be, oh my gosh, it's here. Da, 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 da. You don't get a normal life. And I've experienced that. So I appreciate this side a lot. I appreciate just walking out my door and being normal. Just, if you want to call it that. It's so peaceful not having 1,000 people corralling you every single day, not having a moment's peace. Like, I understand how the Christ would have felt every day, you know, like a dozen times 12 people trailing back and you're trying to touch, you kind of want healing. Like,
did you say did you say the Christ?
Yes, the Christ, yeah.
Okay. There's many of those, so
Yeah, I didn't want to say a specific name because we're not talking about that name. Just, but emulating from the Christian story, there was this one, there was this one moment. Sorry, I didn't mean to, yeah. There was this one moment where I think this lady touched his garment because she wanted healing, and he stopped. And I think the way how the Bible depicts it is that he was calm about this, but the way how I see it, I don't think he was. I think he was upset that she did that. Why did you touch me? Because I needed healing. Yeah. But why did you touch me? Like, because I'm thinking, no, but you never asked me if it was okay. You just touched me. So violated, you violated his personal space now. Because he's capable of helping you. You've gone into his space and you violated it without his permission, without him having the free will to say, okay, I want to help you now. So that whole story is deeper than what we were given in Christianity. And I get that, because even when you said, like you said for yourself, you've got further to go and so forward. It's a progress system. Your tree starts as a seed and it grows and it puts out fruits and it continues to grow through time. It doesn't have a stop until it's the end of that tree's journey. So we're still growing as trees, and coming out of the colonization and the slavery, the great genocide, we've got a lot of growing to do as a community, because we're still stuck in what I call post-colonial Negroism. Ideas that we adopted from the colonizers that we now think are our community. For example, pimping. I do not know one indigenous community on earth that has pimps. They just don't sell the daughters. I've studied from the ones that build igloos all the way down to the Aborigines of Australia. There's not one indigenous tribe on earth that sells their daughters. It just doesn't happen. So why do we think pimping is a part of our culture?
Well, like you says, I mean, yes, the African transatlantic slavery was a crime against humanity, but there are also other traditional people from across the globe that were enslaved by their communities as well. So there was a lot of slavery in sort of like Japan, in Korea, in China, a lot of slavery going on in India. I mean, they still got apartheid in India, and then I was listening to like
they've still got apartheid in India.
Well, the caste system, that's an apartheid.
Oh yes, yes.
And so I was listening to I can't remember what they're called, but they're a part of the Russian Empire, and they were talking about their colonization by Russia, by Russians. And it seems, and so this colonization isn't just like Native American Indians, African. It's a lot of, I would call them traditional people who were very connected to the land. So like the earth keepers, the wisdom keepers, those people who kept the balance within nature, within earth. It was like, it seems to be those people that were colonized across the entire planet.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so basically what it shows how artificial information, so information that is not really coming from your own soul or from your own lineage,
divine self,
the divine self. It shows how that interrupts societies. It shows it shows how that's interrupted the whole planet, because if you think about the Christian crusade, so the way they tell the story, so yeah, let's talk about JC, man. So
Yeah, man. Big up JC.
yeah, so my story is this, right? So JC, right? JC was a regular dude, right?
Yeah.
And he was practicing his magic, and he had some, you know, words that inspired the people, and he's practicing his magic. But then, you know, the government people, you know, they didn't like that because they want to kind of like keep the people under manage in control, but he's telling them about stuff that's to empower him, and he's doing his little magic. So what did they do? They crucify him. They beat him up and crucify him because they don't like his magic or they don't like his words. But then they go one step further. They take the effigy of JC,
JC.
and they travel across the globe and crucify everybody who doesn't bow down to JC on this effigy. So all through Europe, so all
Of this effigy of him being crucified.
so basically on the cross, they take him and they show him to everybody. So, you know, it's so in Europe, people were mainly pagans and stuff like that.
Yes.
So they crucified them. They went through the Americas, the Native Americans and the Aztecs
Crucified them.
and all the Africans. And then they even went over to China, Mongolia. They even tried it in Indian. So they're carrying this effigy of this brutalized man, saying that you don't bow down to him, yeah, you're going to get dead or you're going to get missing. And not only that, on every sacred site in the world, they built one of their churches with this effigy of Jesus Christ, because JC was known as the devil on the cross, because pre-Christianity, people knew if the mad people come with the Jesus on the cross, they were going to die, or they were going to be beaten, or they were going to be subjugated.
So these lot were known as the mad people to the rest of the world.
Yeah, and JC was known as the devil on the cross, because if you come to your village, that was going to be the end of your traditions, end of your practices, because you either bow down or you're dead. So I have this question, right? So because Christianity was 90% of it was brought through brutality. So whether it was, you know, the Native American Indians, whether the Africans, or throughout the globe, it was pure brutality. You bow down to this effigy, and then we build our churches on your sacred lands. So I have a question. Then there must be an imprint that says, if I don't bow down, if I dare to express myself, 100%, I am going to be crucified, because that's what happened to JC. He was expressing himself, they crucified him. So that is a conscious imprint across the planet. So one of my questions I ask Christians, I goes, are you really devout to JC, or do you have in your consciousness that if you step out of line, if you truly express yourself, you're going to be brutalized? And that is a psychological imprint.
So that's one of the suppressions that we spoke about at the start of the live.
Yes. That is a psychological, because think about it, because we do it in society. If somebody says something that isn't in line with everybody else, we kind of like, we're offish with them, aren't we? We kind of like give them a cold shoulder. It's a kind of like, well, that's strange. That ain't in alignment with whatever. And that's what Christianity did. So, and if you think about it from a psychological point of view, are you worshipping Christianity because you really believe in Jesus, or are you worshipping it because you don't
scared
want
to
be
die?
crucified?
And it's a serious point. It's, as much as I'm laughing, but big up this back, and refer Cosmic. It's heartbreaking. It is heartbreaking, because I know in the course that you've got, when you spoke to me the other day, you said you delve into things like the pain body and so forward. So
these are imprints. These are
imprints on the These are imprints on the pain body, if I'm not mistaken. Then.
Yeah, and they're in our psyche, so they're not in the conscious mind, they're in the
Mm,
subconscious mind. And you see, this is the thing about
mm,
consciousness. You really need to work and bring through what's in the subconscious mind, because you often are doing things for not the reason you think you're doing them. Because you may be just doing them out of fear because of that trauma that you have suffered.
mm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Rather than in a more stable thought of mind.
Well, we do things out of fear, because at the end of the day, the
Hmm.
body and the consciousness will try and protect itself. It will try and protect itself.
Survival instincts.
Yeah, it was trying to survive. So you think that, yeah, okay, I'm devout and I'm gonna pray to this and do that, but in your subconscious mind, you're doing that because you don't want to be chastised. Now, a lot of people say, no, 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 that's not true. But you speak to psychologists,
Anecdotes.
you yeah, you speak to psychologists, and they'll tell you about the psyche and the subconscious mind, and
Hmm.
how it impacts the way that we are in our conscious waking state. So
Okay.
so those are some of the things I touch upon. But what I really have brought the event together for was for people to understand their consciousness, so, and the power of their consciousness, because the reason why um, there's an indoctrination process is because where your mind is focused, what you put it into, that's what will become powerful. So if
Hmm.
everybody's doing the same thing and towing the line of the perception of, let's say, one set of people, then that makes them powerful. But if your mind isn't in that, and so you're working more according to your own soul's nature, and not follow what I call the crowd, and if you have the strength of character and the understanding how to follow your own innate wisdom, your own uniqueness, that will empower you, not give your power away.
Away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so when you have that artificial information, artificial education, because at the end of the day, if you think about all the books and things that are being written, they're only a perspective of the writer. And those books and things where they say, oh no, it's science, it's based on fact. Science isn't based on fact. Science is based upon probabilities, the likelihood, and that's been generous. Mm.
I agree. I'd like to interject here. My very first science lesson in school in Nottingham, year seven, the teacher said, "Science is the study of nature." Right. So
Mhm.
that stuck with me since 1996, since September 1996 till now. Science is the study of nature. So to speak, it's a method of observing and taking note to what's being observed and sharing those notes. It's not the be all and end all of life. As long as you are a scientist, you must first respect you are always a student, and you are a student of something called nature, which is penultimately life. Then as I got older, I got to recognize that science doesn't agree with the spirit and the soul and the God concept in a certain world of science, in the atheistic science. Whereas in the other side of science, the metaphysics and so forward, there's a lot of room to comprehend the spirit and the spiritual side of life, the soul, and how even the different dimensions of the universe work. Because you can't measure a frequency outside of this dimension with physical apparatus that were made in this dimension. In other words, when the physical apparatus, like for example, this speaker, it's made in this third dimension, as we call it. So how would it then be possible for me to send sound from this third dimension down to the first dimension with this apparatus? It would be physically impossible. So therefore, it would be impossible for this to even measure anything on the first dimension. Never mind when we're talking about going to the higher dimensions, like the fifth and the sixth dimension. You would never be able to measure things in that dimensions, because science, as it's grown now, science hasn't been grown to be in balance with nature and in tune with nature as it's being presented in today's world. Science is almost in opposition to nature, and they are so insistent to disprove God and to disprove the source of creation. That's what I've realized about what I like to define as pseudoscience, because true science is respecting the fact that there is a source, respecting the fact that we all come from the source, and when you cook your food, it's chemistry and biology. You're boiling a pot of water, you're adding peas in there, you're adding coconut, you're adding flavoring. This is science. CC, how you doing, Cess? So again, it's a perspective of science, whether it's the what I would determine as the colonized perspective, or whether you're coming from the natural perspective. Because if you're coming from the natural perspective, then you know life itself is nature. Right. And that's what science is studying.
Right. So let me add to that then. So let me ask you a question, right? Okay. So let me put this one, because you'll probably know this one. So so the Dogons, right? They managed to calculate the 26,000 year cycle with no equipment or nothing. So then it took how many hundreds of years or thousands of years for someone with a piece of equipment to calculate that, and they still can't figure out how the Dogons did that without their science. Okay, mystics for years have been telling scientists about quantum fields, about these different worlds, different dimensions. It took them thousands of years to go, with their equipment they have now, to go, oh yeah, there is a nut. Oh yeah, this is the, oh yeah, oh yeah. So this science thing is a bit slow, because there's another type of technology where you can get information, and technology is under our feet that has information about everything, and you don't have to be a scientist to tap into that information to know about certain things in our universe. So
we don't need a certificate from university to access this information.
No. So the next part of the science is the baby of alchemy. Now, if you understand alchemy is the mother, science is the baby. When you take the baby away from the mother, the baby doesn't make no sense. Can't make sense of its origins, because you took the baby away from its source. So you like we were taken away from Africa, the science was taken away from the alchemy. And the alchemy is about, it's about the consciousness of nature, it's about the technology of nature, and about how everything in our consciousness, everything in our reality is an alchemical process. And that's how we evolve, and that's how we grow and develop. And that consciousness is found in the technology of the earth. It's in the earth. So remember we started off with about communicating?
And communicating with the plants and with the sun and so forth. Yes.
They teach you the alchemy of life. So this, I have 3 science degrees. So I know That's science.
Wait, you did? Is that what you went to university for? Science, science.
well, no, yes, because my first degree was applied biology. Mm.
Okay.
So yeah, so I know the biological system, but you see, when I was taught about alchemy and about the consciousness of the earth, why did I put that down and not focus on that? Because that's the mother. And then once I focused on the mother, I could go back to the daughter and understand how the daughter came to be. And that's what, again, that's a part of this society that we live in, because they cut things, they separate things out, and not even realizing that everything is linked together and it needs to be seen through holistic eyes, not separated. I'll give you another example, right? I can't remember which clan it was, but there was a clan in Africa, and they had understood the principles of schizophrenia thousands of years ago, and they described it as these 7 fields, and if any of the 7 fields were out of place, out of balance, the person would have psychological disease. Now,
Which clan is this now?
I can't remember. I can't remember the clan, but I think I'll tell you who wrote about it. Oh, he disappeared.
I was just checking to see if I could find that, but no worry.
Yeah. Well, but the point is that this knowledge that is being rewritten, we already had it. It was already there. What happened? When you've been disconnected from the land, the consciousness of the earth, you lose knowledge. You become science without the alchemy. Yeah. So we're drifting consciously because we're not connecting into the earth, because that's where the knowledge is. The earth holds knowledge and wisdom. So a part of this conference is that I'm talking about the structure of the earth, and the earth is surrounded by a grid of consciousness. You might want to call it the matrix, but it's not that type of matrix. We're in the matrix now.
Yes. Online.
This is a matrix of consciousness. So it has different timelines. It's multidimensional in nature. When you tap into that, you can get all kinds of knowledge, all kinds of understandings. But people don't just tap into it, because when you tap into it, if you go in there with low consciousness, then you can do a lot of damage. So through your consciousness, depending where you are, you can tap into certain levels of it and acquire knowledge, wisdom, healing. You're connecting with the source of the mother, the source of your own soul. And so this is where consciousness comes. And I'm of the opinion is that Africa as a continent will never rise until it connects back to the mother, to the earth, into the earth. Not adopting these foreign ideas, this artificial information, but going back to the
indigenous roots, the original knowledge. Yes,
came from the mother. And then just to add to that, in one of my experiences, because I've had loads of experiences, I did there was, what would you call it? I did a kind of like regression, but it's stepping back in time. And so when I do this, I step backwards 7 generations. So I was working on some family genetics and trying to understand something. Anyway, when I did it, I went back way back, more than 7 generations. So this is like a meditation. I went back eons, and I saw these 3 old women. And so this is before slavery, before anything. And I saw these 3 old women, and they just said to me, listen, telling you this one message. Whatever you do, no matter what happens on the earth, no matter what's going on the earth, no matter what it is, stick to the earth.
Stick to the earth.
Don't pay no mind. And in this, I like to say meditation, but I was awake.
Yeah, waking trance. Sounds like a waking trance.
Yeah, I was awake, and when I was with them, they showed me slavery. They showed me this. They showed me that. They showed me that. They said, "Don't get involved in none of that. Stick to the earth." And then they sent me back, and I was all, whew, I came back.
Yeah. Stick to the earth.
Commune with the earth, because that's where the knowledge is. That's where the healing is. That's where your heart and your soul is.
I knew it. This, I swear I did this when I was 17. I was on the beach in Jamaica, and I was like, earth. Some people sell their souls. I don't know how this is possible. So I can't sell my soul to the devil. So I'll have to sell my soul to you. If it's available, then you've got it. Like, I can't. That's it. And it's like it's been my protector. It's like, you know, I don't have to be angry with anyone, because if I do get angry with someone just by mere thought, bad things happen. I don't talk. I need to call friends and call. But at the same time, I feel very in tune a lot of the time with the environment, with the weather, with
everything.
Everything. It's just like, wow, this is amazing. So there's a certain time when even my cousins come to me like, Esh, I wish I had a bit of what you got, man. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just existing like in a state of joy. I don't, you know, I'm surviving on air. I don't have a big bank account. I ain't got no bag of gal every day. Like, that's not what gives me my joy. It's just rising out of my slumber and taking that first breath. And it's just that, it's a breath full of joy. And that's just it. I breathe it in, and then that's what comes out.
Well, there you go. So you know, so this is what I feel like I need to start talking about, regardless, so that it becomes normalized, and so that, you know, people focus on the inner work, the inner journey. So I do break down, you know, the consciousness of the earth. I talk about sort of like the frequency and the geometry of the body. Also, like I said, I go into to space. There's also other presenters there. So
yes.
I've got Anne-Marie. So she's an architect. And so she'll be talking about space and frequency.
Okay, Anne-Marie. And who else is going to be there as well? Is there anybody else?
Yeah. So then we've got, who else we've got there? We've got Sinead coming over from Ireland. So she's going to be talking about her coming out, because from what I understand from her story, you know, she was alive when she was little, and they all got shut down, man. She was well alive.
Golda, I've got someone that wants to join the live. I think he's my cousin. He may want to talk to you. Is that okay? If you have somebody else join us?
It's your program.
I'd like to bring up to the floor vegetarian, vegan desserts. This is technically my god brother and my god sister's cousin, but I don't care about that. I call him my cousin because we're so close. You get me? Here he is, randomly.
Yes, you know what, my speaker's low, so I'm just testing it from now. If you can hear me.
Yeah, man, I can hear you still. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. This is Golda, A and Soph on the floor of us today. Yeah, man. So I was just talking about the event for June 20th this year, summer solstice.
Yeah, so it's going to be running from like participants come from 3:45 and onwards. And so there'll be presenters there. So I was just explaining.
The other presenters, yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was just talking about Sinead. She's coming up from Ireland. I've got Ashana Kula Ra. She's coming down from up north from, I think, near Newcastle. So she's a grid master and she works with the skulls, the crystal skulls. So this is where we're talking about the earth consciousness. Who else have we got? So we've got so Melanie. She may be doing a presentation, but she's one of the exhibitors. There's Sasha Mani. So Sasha Mani, she works with sacred geometry and also the spoken word. So and then we've got Jackie, who's she's like a designer, so she makes like clothing according to the nature of your soul. So she'll tune into your soul, and then she will make you something according to your soul. So that's uniqueness. And also what she does is that if you've got old clothes, you send her your old clothes and she'll make it out of those.
You need to connect her with him. He makes custom crowns, actually crowns for your head. So I think that's, yeah.
Okay.
And I'm saying crazy.
Indoor or outdoor event?
Sorry, say again.
Is it going to be or outdoor event?
It's indoors.
It's in Birmingham. So, it's going to be in Birmingham.
Yeah. So it's at Highbury Hall. So another reason it's at that location is because we are working with the grids of consciousness. So there's a grid that runs straight from the south of England right up to the Orkney Islands, and this is one of the main portal grids.
It's on one of the ley lines.
Yeah.
Is it on the ley line for that grid? Wow.
Yeah.
The
Balloonist line, but also it radiates out to everywhere on the earth. And you remember I talked to you about working multidimensionally with these grids, so you can work through different timelines. So what we are looking at here is bringing through a specific timeline associated with a city of light. Now, I was advised, now I can't remember who told me, so this isn't my knowledge, but I remember speaking to a girl one time and she said, did you know that Birmingham is a city of light? And then yeah, well, she told me that. So energetically, on a timeline, it is. And so this is the timeline.
That's news. Okay. Birmingham. I feel very weird energy when I'm in Birmingham to the rest of England. So that would make a lot of sense still.
It is, and back in like I don't know, during the Industrial Revolution and stuff, Birmingham and Manchester were the main cities of the entire globe for trade and everything. Yeah, back in the industrial
colonialism.
Yeah. They were the main cities. So Birmingham is very important, and this is why I think I was asked to talk about the consciousness and how the consciousness of the people, when focused right, can actually change the city, change the whole of UK, can change continents and the entire globe, because the consciousness spreads through the grids. There's grids of consciousness around the earth, as I said earlier, and so when you're resonating, you feed into those grids, but you don't just get access into the grids because it's like a coding, because you're a big code. So I'm a big code. So depending on what my code says, gives me access to certain parts of the grids. Depending on what your code says, it will give you access to certain
it's like
parts.
It's like a combination key.
3 12 6 6 6 9 9
Yeah.
9 9 9 9 12 12 12 12. That's just mine. All the way to the end. All the way to the end.
Right. So, so
Yeah.
so you're on the part of the grid that you'll be tapping into, right?
Yeah, man. He knows
Yeah.
what time. He knows where
I'm
he's
going to get
tapping
my
in.
crowns. Remember, I got the thingy crowns.
What was that? I can't hear you.
You went quiet there, Cozzy. Sorry.
Yeah, because
It's done.
because it's the thing here. So
And
these are just my normal ones, though. These are like my normal ones.
Right. Are those his crowns?
Yes, the crowns
Yeah.
that he makes. Yeah.
Yeah.
These are just like
Okay.
normal ones.
Yeah, those are the normal ones. They ain't normal, bro.
But the one I'm gonna show you
Yeah.
is one
Excuse me
lady in Birmingham.
I like my spliff.
One lady. Yeah, I haven't seen this one yet. Check this one.
Wow.
One lady in Birmingham. I didn't make this.
It's like
This
Heru.
one's from America. This is.
Yeah, it's got Haru and Cyrus and
Yeah.
some other bits on there.
That was made by one of the Warpians. That was.
Okay. Okay. What?
Yeah, the main one called his name's called what's the name called again? Haru. No, in fact, what's his name again? One of the main.
So that's his name. That's his name on the crown in Metut, then, isn't it?
Haru something. But this lady makes all my jewelry,
Yeah.
and she's in Birmingham.
Oh, okay. What's the name?
Kitty Creations.
Oh, okay. No, I'm
don't
not
know,
familiar.
She's exclusive. This is what I'll be wearing on the ley line.
Right. Oh, okay. So you make sure you come on time, man.
Yeah, you hear that? You need to reach on time.
Is it on a weekend? I'll be probably with my son Raw Nubis.
On the 20th.
Is it on a weekend?
No, it's on the Thursday. It's Thursday. So it's from 4. Well, let's say 4 till 10.
Okay. It's on the Thursday.
Yeah.
This is the great.
Yeah, because it's on the solstice. You see, it had to be on the solstice.
Yeah, that makes sense.
This is the bracelet matching with the.
That looks nice. Yeah. That's really nice.
And then I've got the Oh yeah, where's the other one? And then I've got the
Nice, because little pyramid and tapping.
See, so some of the crystals as well. Cause come true, man.
Yeah.
He's stopping every day.
Yeah, that's nice.
This is a pendant. That one is so that's the pendant to the bracelet.
Yeah.
And then I've got the rings.
Oh wow! Oh wow!
Like knuckle dusters.
Yeah, I haven't seen these ones yet, cause
no, I haven't.
Show you these. These are can't remember. These is what clean the crystals, in it.
Wow.
The cellulites, in it. The cellulites. So,
yeah.
So when this is on me, yeah, these are naturally. So when I'm on the ley line, I'm fully loaded. So
right.
Like the crown, the bracelet, and then which one's this one? I won't wear this one because I got different ones as well. Like I've got these ones as well. I got like soda lights.
Right.
You know I
wonder if DB's still in the building. Let's see if
this one's a bad boy one. Bloodstone.
Right. If DB's still in the building, because DB does crystals.
Yeah, they're amazing. Yeah, so I mean, I
can bring my one.
If you can spare the time to come down, that'd be great. Yeah.
I've got exclusive ones. So this is copper infused. So it's got a big copper rod inside.
Yeah.
And it's got copper wires wrapped on the outside, on the edges, with a rose quartz, and the wood is rosewood.
You're trying to make the Jed without me, bro?
Yo, you know what? Yeah.
You're trying to make the Jed without me, bro? Why what you doing, you know?
This is one thingy to my I can't even speak about it on it because it will just.
Yeah, we'll talk offline about that. Don't worry.
Yeah, you can tell me about that weaver. Because I want to know what you do with the weaver.
I'll freeway you on WhatsApp one of these days.
Oh, I've got bigger ones. I've got smaller ones though.
Wow. Yeah, because I trained as a crystal therapy. Crystal therapy, and we have to make our own wands and things.
Yeah.
Okay. And I know I've seen an obelisk over there.
Collection.
Yeah.
And then I've got the diamond cut ones, the real diamonds.
Told you, man, Cozzy, man, you're on this thing, man, you're on this thing.
Right.
But
So,
yeah,
so you're coming to do some serious work then.
yeah, he's got to, man. He's there. The powers. This is Brother King powers. That's all I can say.
Oh wow.
Yes, Brother King powers. That's all I can
You
say.
already know who I am already,
Yeah.
Anubis.
Well, I don't knew this. Look, what?
Wait, Ra,
Oh,
Anubis.
oh my God.
Wow.
Wow.
And just imagine, I had that way before my son Varnubis was born.
Yeah.
Way before. And
Yeah.
then about a couple months after, I looked on the wall because that used to be on the wall in my other yard, and I was like, oh yeah, Varnubis. It's like, no, you know, the
That's why I named my
subconsciously, like,
son.
I wasn't even thinking anyway, if you know what I mean, because I already had it like 10 years before that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Wow.
But this is my other finger, look. This is the bigger one to it, look.
Oh wow.
Oh.
Is that a liberal? What's that? Liberalite?
Labradorite,
Yeah.
yeah. And then my son's got his one. Matching, not a baby one.
Yes, I.
Oh.
Ja. Hold on, no, man.
Super
Wow.
bad.
Powers, family, powers. Jano.
And then obviously,
I love having
my
this heat
bedroom,
round me,
and then
innit?
on my window ledge, it's the steps up again. The game just goes crazy again. I was gonna pull them out one by one. So this is Aventadrine.
Aventrine.
Yeah.
Aventrine.
Aventadrine. Yeah. And I got the ring matching as
Wow.
well. Look. I got the one and the ring.
Right. So just out of interest, so do you know what your soul's purpose is? What you do? I mean, you don't have to say on there if you don't want to.
You see, like how
I'm just here to heal the people, innit?
Right.
That's it.
he's doing it.
That's like the most basic you will get, like, because what's the saying, less is more. So I'm just here to heal the people, and that's what I'm doing. Like, I'm running a business called Varnubis Mineral Moss. Varnubis is my son. I do sea moss. I make moisturizers for your skin, black soap, fluoride free
Toothpaste,
hair
yeah.
growths, hair
Yeah.
thickeners,
Mhm.
you name it. Different lemongrass creams, lavender creams, everything.
Yeah. With the
Yeah.
sea moss.
Yeah.
And that all happened since from when I had my baby. So
Right. Well, I would say you may be asked to take another step up in another direction as well.
Because he's very into the esoteric knowledge and metaphysics. So, and the brother studies deep on Kemet. So I know say, you know, like how me and Wince went and did the reading with the Osaro set them.
yeah.
Did I tell you? Remember I told you about
Yeah.
that? That's what she's on about, like getting one of them
Oh,
kind of readings
yeah.
there. But
Yeah.
Oh, no,
yeah.
Well,
I wasn't on about doing the reading.
I've
Oh, you're
already
not
told
on about
you who
having
I
the
am. I
reading?
already know who I am anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't on about getting the reading. I was just
Okay.
saying he's going to be guided to take another step up. That's all.
Yeah, of course.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. You see, now I'm thinking of that on that level. So,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let me see if
because
this one, look.
yeah.
what makes you say that, Golda?
Huh?
If you don't mind me, what makes you
No,
say that? If you
because
don't mind me asking.
he is. He is. I was shown. He's going to take another step up because you see what he's done there. Back, 20 years ago, I was doing all that. I made herbs. I made natural health products. I ran seminars. I did crystals. I did the whole nine yards, and had all the Kemetic stuff, everything. And they said to me, yeah, that's good, but they said I needed to take another path,
And that was the inner path.
Yeah, and when I was listening to him, I heard the same thing. He'll be directed to take another.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that's
Okay.
the
I've
reason
already
why.
got it. I'm already there. I'm already. It's already there
Yeah.
because she's right. Right now, she's right. She's in my time zone now, my timeline. Yeah. But the next step is just. I know the next step, but there's like 2 or 3 ways of doing it. But there's only one way, which is my way. But that way is like not the longest way or the hardest way, but that's just
The way
way.
you have to
What I
walk.
mean?
Yeah.
But the
Remember.
other ways, we're like 50-50 right about now.
Remember
That's just down to
remember
the investors, if you know what I mean.
remember we was talking about Dr. Me. Our conversation. No, I'm showing you something. Remember we was talking about Dr. Me.
Yeah.
This is the encyclopedia lady.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is the lady with the encyclopedia.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. So yeah, she knows.
Listen,
And I say she reveals a lot, bro.
That one there.
Yeah.
Yeah. That one there. And it's so easy. Even grandma can do it.
Even granny could do it. Yeah, man.
Because it's visual learning. I'm a visual learner. So when you show them the visually and it's the touch screen, you just touch, it's just there. It's just so simple.
Simplicity. Yeah. Well, of all of the complexness, we make it simple.
Yeah, break it down.
Let me just good time. I didn't want to go in out and not. So I think we got a decent little time. Even though don't want to keep going all night because we've got a busy day ahead tomorrow as well. And just touching 10 o'clock now, local time, GMT. If you're tuning in later on the live while you're watching this and you're wondering why is our screens this way and Ranubi's screens that way.
I was thinking.
Oh. I don't want to.
Both of them, not one, both of them. But I was thinking it like, how come both of them like that?
Not to throw Sis under the bus. It's the first time Sis has actually ever done an Instagram ever. She doesn't do Instagram, so
because I went on the page quickly and I looked and there's only 3 posts.
Basically,
I would have done my scanned it, like super scanned it. Like it was in less than a millisecond. I just went bam, 2, 3.
Okay,
bam,
get it
live
in and out one time. We got Sir Dubs. So we give him a wave on the thing. Is he there? Yeah, man. Is he God? Well, yeah, man. It's so the gridding. I definitely want to talk about the gridding, especially like how we've got someone who's into the powers. It's one thing my cousin talks about. The powers, the powers.
Yo, I showed him now. Yeah, go on, come. Look, let me show them. Go on, but carry on.
So, gridding, because we was talking about the ley lines earlier and the fact that the event's going to be hosted at a particular venue in Birmingham. I assume that there are quite a few facilities around the world that are based on ley lines. I was talking with my lady quite recently, and I said, most cathedrals are based on ley lines. And I've also said there are also measuring nodes for Kepa Ankh, the sun.
Yeah.
I will have to talk about that on another live because it's a very deep conversation. But if we ever needed a sundial, then you have a cathedral. So a cathedral is a giant sundial in short terms for those people who want to learn. But with the ley lines that we have here, so I'll just break it down from what I've gathered from Sister Golda through our conversations before the live. For every node, for example, from the North Pole outwards, every 15 degrees or so is a line. And then you've got the hourly lines, if you talk about it from like that perspective, where you get the 12 hours of daylight, 12 hours of darkness. So along both lines, you've got a cross section. That's a node. That's a very powerful ley line. So these lines carry energy throughout Earth, both through longitude and latitude, so on the X and Y coordinate. Now, a node can be blocked. Let's see if I can get something here. A node can be blocked. Things can block nodes. Atrocities can block nodes.
5G towers.
5G towers, for example, can block nodes. People doing demonic rituals could be blocking nodes, for example. So
artificial intelligence blocked nodes. And when I say artificial intelligence, I'm not talking about AI. I'm talking about when you're fed a dogma which isn't aligned with the consciousness of yourself and the earth. That blocks
nodes.
Because because you have to think about it as the consciousness of the earth. So our consciousness isn't held in our mind. It's it's a consciousness that forms our reality. So then if you're thinking in a certain way, that's going to form your reality, and that consciousness is held in the earth. So every thought, every idea is held in the earth, in those grids of consciousness. So right about now, you understand that the earth is trying to evolve, and in order for it to evolve, those overlays of consciousness, because they're overlaying the consciousness of the earth through these grids, so they need to be cleared. So there's 12 what do you call them, there's 12 gateways that need to be clear. So stargates within these grids, there's 12 stargates that need to be cleared, the overlays. And these overlays, they're not just from recent times. They've been there from, let's say, around Atlantis, Lemuria times, but they're just layers and layers and layers of dense consciousness that has nothing to do with us. So then that suppresses our interaction with the earth and the ability for the earth to I suppose grow and evolve, because we are intrinsically related to the earth. So the earth consciousness, our consciousness, they are one thing. So if we want the earth to evolve, then we need to change our consciousness, so when we raise our vibration, we raise the vibration of the earth. Now, we say these words and things every day, but we're not actually thinking what that actually means. And so when we talk about raising the consciousness, it's not a consciousness, go out and read a book and stuff. It's about changing your frequency from within. So, I said to you, consciousness is an alchemical process. So you see all those books, not books, but deities, so Indian deities or Kemetic deities and stuff like that they are all an alchemical process that you go through. So when they talk about the stories of a soul, they're talking about you. This is what you have to do. You need to collect all your light, consolidate your light, come into a state of oneness. And even the Bible is an alchemical book. And if you understand the frequencies within the Bible, so all the names, Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, they're a frequency, they're an alchemical process. And so it's not that you're supposed to be revering like Mother Mary and Mary Magdalene. They're teaching you about an alchemical process that needs to take place within yourself. And so when you start working that way, taking the journey inwards and going through those alchemical processes, so those changes, and when I say alchemical processes, let's say, you've got a blockage, you got a blockage about speaking publicly or something like that. So I would need to understand where that's come from, or not even understand that, but go through a process of actually giving a speech, actually doing that, so that I can change that alchemically within me. So then I evolve. That means that's no longer an issue. And this is where we get stuck, because we know the theory, we can chat the theory, but it's the practice of the theory and having that alchemical change. So once you walk the talk, the changes happen, and nature works with you on that. So if I say, oh, I've got a blockage around this, but I don't know where this is coming from, I can guarantee you within my life, they will show me. So whether it's at work, whether it's within the family, whether it's, they show me where it's coming from and what it is. So again, it's working with nature, because nature shows you, your life shows you what you need to change. It's just whether you drink the water that it's showing you.
Where you can only lead the horse to water; it has to drink for itself. In other words, yes.
And yeah, and so the problem is, as we talked about earlier, is that I've only recently come onto social media and I've seen all this information, and I was just thinking, no, all this information is actually taking people away from themselves. They're not actually taking people to themselves, and this is where the confusion lies. And what it felt like a sea of information, and everybody was sort of like planting their flag on which sea of information they was holding. It's like a scramble for Africa. Yeah, this is my bit. This is my bit. This is going to be my bit.
You know, in favor of the balance, I'll argue for the balance of the rest of the world in this argument. We've been schooled into social media as a place of financial benefit.
Yes.
So some people have tried to find a medium where they can present a platform that can help them to gain, financial resources to assist them in life. So in many occasions, in the defense of the people, that's what they're accomplishing. Those who have a business aim. For the rest of us, it's merely a source of entertainment or a form of communication with the greater world. And I always say to people, what's so interesting about social media is you're online looking at your phone. Yeah, let me get another one there. You're online looking at your phone. Hey, phone, how you doing? But then you're interacting with somebody else who's also using their phone. So it's a middleman between you and the real person. So rather than meeting at the campfire like in indigenous tribal times, where we all sit together and eat together, now we're interacting through a digital screen and sending messages. So yes, it breaks a boundary between me talking to someone in Japan or me talking to someone in South Africa, which would be physically difficult for especially when you're not open your telepathic mind up. But yes, you can get to meet people, but at the same time, it's taken away that interaction with the real world. So we've got to remember that there is the balance. There is that balance of we are interacting with real people, but not with the person with an idea that they've left. They've put a video up, they've put a post up, they've put words up. So it's a medium that's kind of split our direct interaction. So now it's a indirect interaction.
I think you might have misinterpreted what I was saying. It was it was I haven't got anything against social media.
No,
it was about the information, the bombardment of information that was on there, which I felt, rather than helping people, because there was so much, I felt it was like taking them away, because they felt that they needed all this information, whereby you just needed a little bit what you need for now, and then you work with that little bit and then go and take. Whereas it was more like an information junkie rather than.
I see where you're coming from now. Yeah.
Because social media is good. I mean, I love it. I mean, it's the best thing ever. I can work from home and all kinds of things. But But yeah, so it was just that, and so that's why again the event, because the event was really to ground it and say, look, listen, it's not just about information, it's the application of that information and how that information helps you to grow, and
Applied knowledge.
yeah, and so and how it helps you to expand and express and to come out of your comfort zone, or come out of the tags and the names that you've been given, and break out of that and to reveal your unique self. So there's a lot of people helping people online, but you know, like I said, when I went, I was like, whoa, what is this? So no, there's always the balance. I haven't got anything.
Considering 6 months ago, you never had any of these
Exactly.
Instagram or Facebook or none of that. So
none of
it. So I can imagine again from your perspective, it's a brand new bombardment of what the heck is all of this?
Yeah.
Well, to say it's your first Instagram,
yeah.
And what you just spoke about just then, I've just had like bare DNA explosions in my brain, like bare DNA explosions, like loads of like bang, 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 So, because I've had theories for a long time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you know, certain things, and then when the answer comes, it comes, or it can show you like another way. Or, you know what I mean? So what you just spoke about, like, it's all fact. So I've always believed, like, from my whole, like, not me, but a lot of people, even you, will get the same concept, but in a different way. Like, just like the Bible, we all can read it, but different way, yeah? So I know that Earth's consciousness was like a feminine consciousness, you know what I mean? Because Mother Earth, Mother Africa, if you know what I mean. And now that the Earth's frequency has changed to some masculine dominant thing, it's all gone mad. So it's gone from you know, how the Egyptians was doing it with the male and female principle with the Ong, and now it's just gone from straight to the he, just all male, whatever. So my theory was the only way to put this Mother Earth back to change its consciousness back is to put the females back,
in the control position,
back control. But you know, it will be a long process. But the ones who will catch on quick, and then the rest will follow and jump on the bandwagon. So putting them back is just, you know, showing them who they are, showing them their powers, showing them all of that, and then because I can't say too much on here because it might just lock off straight away. So, and then
the Matrix.
Once that's been put back, harmony is back again. Because remember, everything's harmony, isn't it? So now, when you said said that to tap into the ley lines, the people have to just tap into the thing, for themselves though, because you're on about for themselves, to help them come out of this thing, for themselves.
But themselves and Earth are the same thing. So when you do it within yourself, you're doing it for the Earth.
Yeah. I know that, but this is where I was coming with it now. So when you said that there's 12 ley lines,
yeah, 12 layers.
I mean, 12 layers. You would have to do this side. You would do it because remember, 12 is my number again. What goes back to 3.
1 2 1 2 1 2.
So you would have to clear it 12 times. But obviously that goes back to the 36, the 3 and the 6. So you would have to clear it 36 times for it to clear it first, and then to put all the information back in. If you know what I mean, like to put all the thing back on track. So
can I interject here? Go on. Can I? Is it okay if I talk about our classes a little bit?
Yeah, you can do, but just one thing quickly though.
Okay, then go on.
I talked about 12 stargates, not 12 ley lines, because there's
Stargate, sorry,
there's
Stargates, and then you went to the about the prophets. Remember, there was 12 of them. So these are the sacred numbers.
Mm.
If you know what I mean. And then showing you the layers as well. So the 3 is the first layer, the 6 is the second layer, the 9, and then the 12. But you got to do that 36 times.
Yeah, and that works with the DNA. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, sorry, I just had to check. My battery's on 20%. That's okay. So we've got about another half an hour for
And just quickly on the ley lines, there's multiple ley lines. So you've got like the rose line, the dragon lines, the Michael lines, the Mary lines. So these are all different ley lines from different timelines, and the ley lines, they actually align to the cosmos. These are cosmological lines in the earth.
Yeah.
So as above, so below.
So
yeah.
The year of the dragon is this one's the year of the dragon. This one.
Yeah.
So all right. So I'll jump in here and briefly explain a little bit about the current course that I'm taking.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm having a lot of people talk about shadow work and so forward, which is quite interesting. This isn't the first time I've had a spiritual interaction with Golda. It's the second time, except Golda has now presented the course. So I'm currently a bit in the early stages of the opening course. So there's how many 9 sessions, 12 sessions I need to do here. I've got one more Reggie wanting to jump in as well. I'm going to bring him in as well. And part of the course is actually about cleansing your chakras yourself, mentally and visually cleansing your chakras, and seeing not only what I would define as the physical chakras, because society has it that there are only 7 chakras. There are 7 physical chakras, but the earth has many chakras and the heavens have many chakras, So
everything goes back to the 36.
So this is 360. So
no, actually 144,000, 72,000 inner chakras, 72,000 outer chakras.
Yeah, but obviously, so you got the 7. So you got hours, yeah, the physical one, then the spiritual. That's in the universe. Then you got the multiverse chakras. Then you got the omniverse, and then when they all join, that's when you get the because this is going back like in the Matrix now.
Brother MT, bringing you through, Brother MT.
Sorry, I didn't.
You went quiet.
You went quiet
there. Yeah, man, it's Instagram trying it, man. They're just trying to block his out. So how far did you get?
The omniverse, and then after the omniverse,
and then you got the omniverse, and then when they all combine together, because remember that's like the primordial waters like realigning again, if you know what I mean. And then that creates, like you're saying, the 144,000 in a sense. Yeah, because you got the 3 in it, the omniverse, multiverse thing here, the 369 and the 36. That's what I'm saying. It goes back to the 36.
I agree.
Yeah, but it definitely is the 103,000.
144,000. So 72 inner thousand, 72 outers.
Yeah, because I just simplified it as the 72 inner chakras and the 72 outer chakras, which does relate to the universe, omniverse, etc. Because in that course, I don't know if you got to it, I explained to you how the 144,000 chakras created the universe, or created the earth. But I don't think you've got to that bit yet on that.
No, I've not got to that part in the course yet. Not got to that part yet. So there we go. A deeper explanation than what I've even broke down. It's more than what we pay attention to. Is this the 144,000 that the Bible talks about? And it makes a lot of sense. So we're cleansing, we're tuning in the chakras. MT keeps saying you're unable to join, brother. So they need an invite, and I'm
I've cleaned out
accepting.
my chakras before. The
Yeah.
experience was like, just like one of a kind, really. Yeah.
And a lot of people might ask, what is the importance of the chakras? And I think in a short sense, first I would have to explain Ra from the Kemetic, from the Hekor, the words of power. So Ra is the power to manifest. So the source has one of the most, it's tool to manifest from being a state of stillness into the multitude of forms that we are, the multitudes of life. That power is defined as Ra. It's the word of power. So the power to manifest, there are what we would call tubs. These are the chakras. So these are the ones that we're used to: the root chakra, the the navel chakra, sacral chakra, solar plexus, your heart chakra, your voice chakra, your first eye, some would call it the third eye, and your crown chakra. So those are the main 7 that most people are aware of.
Yeah.
In the meditations, I've just learned about the 3 stages of the heart chakra, the 2 stages of the voice chakra. That's where I'm up to now. I'm like, wait, what? There's triple stages of
There's 3 levels to the throat chakra.
the throat chakra. Yes.
3
So
levels.
it's like
3 levels.
Yes,
obviously,
because that's
like the throat is my strongest. You know, because my voice is very deep and tony. Yeah, the throat is like my strongest.
Your strongest chakra.
And then obviously you says the
heart.
The 2 of them. Yeah.
3.
Yeah, so there's 3 there. So this is
what have you put the ones in your ears? Yeah, the ears.
Right. One. Okay. So this is a whole program, because when he goes on further, he will be working with 33 chakras as he goes on through the
I've just got up to 15. I'm up to 15 at the minute.
Yeah. So so when you go on further on that course, you'll be working with 33.
So you're feeling everything, like you're feeling the in your ears. Obviously the heart when you're feeling.
Because there's there, and there, the nose chakra there, and then when I work.
Have you heard of the one where your teeth, it's like your jaws.
The TMJ.
Like when they vibrate, sounds like a rattlesnake, like.
No, I haven't heard of that. But I've had that when sometimes when I'm going through a process, my TMJ gets really affected, and they kind of like chatter like a cat.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Because it happened to my friend one time, But like my friend, it happened to my friend one time, but because like he's a bit like me, like you know when like you feel something and like you really study it and feel it, like what's going on. He says that he felt it from his wisdom tooth. Like he said that his wisdom tooth must have like moved and like hit the back and it made like a noise.
Yeah. Because it's your transmandible jaw, you see, and that's important for alignment, because you have the transmandible jaw and the occiput at the back, and so that's really important for when you're going through spiritual stuff, because you can come out of alignment when you're going through a healing or going through a process, and so when you do, it affects the jaw area and the back of the head, the occiput. And a lot of times
like
doing a lot of pressure.
It gets all tight, and it feels like tight, vibrationally tight.
Yeah.
Okay, that explains a lot. Empty.
Because
empty.
Like,
I'm sending you invites, not coming, bro.
You know when it kicks in, You know when like the thing kicks in when you're meaning, like sometimes like you have to hold it, like sometimes because like sometimes they're like tingly ones, isn't there? Like before you really tap in, and then like sometimes there's just different ones, isn't there? Like you tap in different ways, but because I do it in the bath.
Yeah.
When I'm in the bath in the water, I'm a water sign anyway. I'm just kept with the water thing. So.
Oh, you're Pisces. Yeah.
So when I just do my breath work with my nose and and I push the energy down to my toes and up and back up. Sometimes it's like, yo, it's like tingling, like, yo, yeah. So there's some other tingle, but sometimes the back of the neck thing I can deal with it, and then I just close my eyes and that's it. Close my eyes, relax, and then once I'm in. Like I can't even feel the water. Swear down, I can't feel. I'm in the back like I can't feel the water. Can't feel
Not in this room.
Like the room don't even feel like don't feel like I'm even in a room. Like the walls are not there or nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's that the real astral traveling there. I think when I was in my late teens, I felt my chest usually I'd have a very warm chest, not in temperature, just in feeling. Internally, I would feel warm, but I would also see a very faint green hue around me a lot of the time. So I got to realize over time that my heart chakra was very open when I was a child. I grew in a very loving family, even though we had very, rough survivals. My family was very loving, and I got to go with great grandparents, and I got to meet even my great grandma, and she was a Syrian, black Syrian. So I do remember closing my heart chakra after some time, but then I paid attention to even. I always say to people, when you get angry and you feel your belly on fire, that's your root chakra kicking in there. That heat that you're feeling, you're like, why is my belly on fire? It's because your chakras ignite, giving you energy to survive what you feel, what it can see you're about to go through. So it's not because you got a tummy ache or the bad curry what you had last night. So the effect that you have, even quite recently, within the greater community, saying this isn't a third eye, it's a first eye. Certain ones in the community would argue that how could it be a third eye if it sees before your physical eyes? And I was like, that's a massive one,
Well, and it thinks as well, because remember the penile is the first thing what goes in the womb, and we think ourselves how to come in, like create the body.
We design ourselves.
Like, it's all built around the thought, and it's like bam, 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 bam. But the scientists and the doctors will just lie to us and just say, because it's in a woman and it's just doing its thing on its own. Like, no, it's not doing it on its own. Like natural, just because it's in the woman's belly. It's actually thinking and it can even give the woman help as well. Like it can read her body and give her cells and stuff like that and send things if she needs anything.
Is that elite freestyles? Is that you, brother?
Big in the manner.
Yeah, man. Oh, is it over account? Yeah, account block, brother.
Yo, my account wasn't letting me up on that for nothing, bro.
I'm here fighting with the button, pressing it 100 times, saying, I hope brother don't think I'm...
Yeah, listen, it wasn't letting it go off at all. It wouldn't even let me request. It wouldn't even put... You know what I was trying to do? Something to break everyone know. All I was trying to say is, yo, your comments are up. I can't even comment.
Oh, sorry, yeah, because we wanted Sister Golden was reasoning. I didn't want to block her in there. You get me?
That's all. I mean, the time I WhatsApp you everything. I WhatsApp you, text. I'm like, yo,
all right, comments are on. Yeah, man, big up. Is that SK in the villa? So what you say? Did you want to big up? You want to send a question or a big up to Sister Golden?
Yep. Bless you. You know what? I've only just tuned in, and my phone's been messing. I don't even know what user I've been really reason. I've been hearing talking just then about some chakras and stuff, but I ain't really caught up with nothing.
Just quickly introduce yourself, sister, because like she's powered up, so she's on this earth healing and all of that.
Okay.
So sorry. So who am I speaking with?
So this is a good family friend.
Okay, so what's his name?
We were all born in Nottingham. Literally all three of us. And we all grew up from childhood together, all of us. So yes, MK is actually a music promoter.
Right.
Why am I calling you MK for? What is that?
MK, come out, yo. We just been speaking about MK as well. That's mad.
MT.
Rasta MT. Nice to meet you.
Right, nice to meet you too, MT.
Deep though into all this.
Because I was gonna ask, where were your accents from? Because you all sound like you were from Leicester, but it's Nottingham.
Yeah.
So, you know the ley lines. Do you know where they actually all are?
Well, I do have a map of the more common ones, but there's more than what they know.
Yeah.
So you know, because there's different points. So you know, I've traveled a lot. I've traveled probably to over 80 different countries, and so one of the reasons why I travel so much is because I connect to sites. I connect to the energy of the land. You know, whether it's the mountain or in the jungle or wherever. And I believe that, you know, I call them song lines, like the Aborigines. I follow the song lines because the song lines give you your information about your ancestors and about creation itself. And in Aboriginal culture, I don't know if they still have it now, but as part of your sort of like rites of passage, you would have to go and walk the song lines. They call it walkabout. You go walkabout, so you go missing from your camp for days. But they were able to find their way back because they followed the song lines.
What's the name of the Australian club? Cause that's in town. It's in every town. Walkabout.
Yeah.
That's it.
Interesting, because they've got us all partying in the walkabout now. We're broken off our heads, like you said. What politics will call misinformation. They would have talked too loud because Instagram were like, "Oh, they're talking about M." No, not that one. But again, you know, being intoxicated and given bad frequency music to listen to and off your head. That's what walkabout is for us in the Western world, rather than the rites of passage initiation system that's just explained. You know, I found the rites of passage initiation is something that we are missing in the West, most certainly. Why is the term, "Oh, men don't grow up," it's because we're not given an initiation system. You know, we don't get given that initiation into adulthood, and then from that early adult phase into your middle adult phase. So you got, you know, 50-year-old men running around like they're still 25, 18 years old.
Yeah.
Same with women as well. I'm not going to say women aren't behaving like the young ones as well, but and it's based on your mentality. You know, the fact that not that you're chasing a bag of girls and all of this, is that your responsibilities change as you get through the. Sorry, I'm not sure if I chipped out there. You guys heard me, yeah?
No, you tripped out.
Yeah, you tripped out.
Okay, yeah. So your responsibilities change as you go through the ages. We know what you're responsible for at the age of 18 changes by the time you get to 42. When you get to 49, they change again. By the time you're 56, you know, the Metu Netta woke me up to that. So, and I looked on it and I was like, that's because we don't have an initiation system that guides you through that path of progression to make sure you're mentally keeping up with where you need to be in your spiritual development. We're just so focused on physical.
Sorry to cut you off. There is one, but it's not exposed like that. But it would be the Rastaman initiation.
Yeah, well, we haven't developed one in the House of Rastafari.
Bodies are like 16-year-olds and the Bushman and the
yeah. The way I would go in the hills and just farm and just stay up there in the farming. Yeah, that's and I did it. That's kind of like we've adopted that as survival. So there's you got the Rastem that we come in the world and we work. You know, we go in the Western world where we're doing what we're doing. We're being lawyers and doctors and teachers. We don't leave. You know what I mean? So those who are at home in Jamaica get to do that, but as teenagers, we don't get brought into, like, for example, Nyabingi and taught to drum at 14 and 15 and taught to lead.
True.
That's the level of initiation that I'm talking about. So we are missing that a lot in our community through and through, not just in the Ras House, but throughout the whole New
Yeah,
Zealand
it's like
family in the Western
the whole
Hemisphere, I would say.
community, brother. With this, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, I mean, on that note, there are internal spiritual initiations
Yes.
that do take place. So I know that when I've been in a dream state or a trance state, I've gone through a whole initiation on whatever timeline, and I've come out of it and I've gone, oh, I've passed that. I've moved up. But again, people won't recognize it as that if they're not you know, being
In tune. Yeah.
yeah, or being you know, if these things are not spoke about, if these things are not being said, they just thought, oh, that was a bizarre dream, and then they carry on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
And really, it was an
I know what you
initiation.
so so
Yeah.
so even like I wouldn't say a nightmare or like a thingy, not a nightmare, but you know, like a just like a strange dream. Like so I'm gonna tell you a story of what my brethren told me, yeah, because he knew
Yeah.
it was all real, yeah. He says that it's in a because he's like a prayer warrior. So he's one of them ones. You know what I mean? So
Sorry, I didn't catch what you said. You look like a what warrior?
He's like a prayer
he's a
warrior.
prayer
A,
warrior,
a bray.
Prayer.
pray.
Oh,
prayer
pray.
warrior, yeah. He's like
Okay.
but he's Muslim though, yeah. But he's
Yeah.
like a different type, yeah. But he's really like strong on praying, yeah. And he was like, yeah, I had this dream, but it wasn't even a dream. It's like Allah was testing me. I'm saying why what happened? It's like I was in like this big jungle, yeah, and there was this big, massive like wildebeest, tiger, cat, like yo, the way he explained it, he said it was some big, massive thing, yeah, some big other thing. But he was on like a path, yeah, but there was only one way. There's only one way to get thingy, but you have to get past this big beast cat thing, yeah. And then he says when he looked up to the right and he seen this tree because it was like a big tree and the thing and like one of the branches was like tall like longer than the rest like hanging over. He says he knew exactly what he had to do. You know what I mean? So he says that he tricked the cat, yeah, to the big tiger thing to jump, and basically he says that he jumped over to the big tree, yeah, to the big thing what was hanging on the longest one, and he's wrapped the thing man, the tiger thing's neck, and just bam, snapped it, yeah, bam, bam, and just flipping
Got away.
Thing, yeah. And then my first question to him was like, what? Say that again. So as soon as you looked at that thing, yeah, because remember I'm like a dream thing as well. I said, so as soon as you looked at that thing, you know exactly what to do. He's like, yeah. I said, you know what? You've had that dream before, but you couldn't remember, and it was like a test or something. But now you know how to do it. So is that like a type of initiation, or is that just?
Well, I would say, yeah, it is a type of initiation because first and foremost, he's being conscious in his dream to be able to remember and to bring it back. So he's awake, he's lucid in the dream, and so they will teach you how to react or do things when you're lucid in your dream, because a lot of our work we actually do it when we're asleep. And so for me, I would say that is an initiation or a training.
Yeah, because he was saying that he was thinking Allah was testing him because he's like being like he just feels so powerful through praying, and like because he was trying to get me to convert. He's like, yo, trust me, Ken, yo, the PlayStation thing, man, trust me, like so. He was saying like
funny,
like no demons or like no nothing can't touch him. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And like they would test him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what the tiger was?
Yeah, but it's like just battering him. Like
you know what the tiger was?
Superman thing, but he don't even know he's the Superman guy.
You know what the tiger was?
He said it was like some big massive.
It's his animal spirit that he had to conquer.
Yeah.
In order for him to progress to be
Bruce Lee's thing.
So in order for him to progress as a prayer warrior, he had to get over his lower spirit, his lower habits, for example, his sexual habits and addictions and those things that keep you in your lower state. Like me, I'm not going to get cussed later on from Sister Gorda for all of this. What I've paid you. But that's what he had to fight, and that's what the tiger came as in that vision to him. That was his actual animal spirit. So in order for him to move forward, he had to conquer that.
And tiger is also associated with righteousness as well.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So what is this? What was it? This is it more about dreams and stuff? And I'm a dreamer. My family's are the biggest. We dream like there's no tomorrow. Dream. yeah. One thing I swear to God, I dreamed everything. Like I imagine, I've had dreams that when I fell asleep for about a couple hours and woke up and know like somebody's coming to my house right now. Just randomly though, like got up and just thought, huh? And gone to my thing and the day and I'm thinking, how did I know that?
2 minutes. 10 minutes. That's like immediate.
But you know what? That's
deja vu.
before, just like one time, but
precognitive.
Like
that's a precognition.
at the door, but my spirit seen it at the door first before my physical body, and then I went in my body.
It's like
and
then like you've got to see it.
No, the audience still. I thought that was a dream.
Precognitive. That's when you're in the realm of light.
Yo, listen, when you're about MT spoke one time, like, yo, Ken, I had a dream, Enough dreams had. That feds come to your yard. I'm like, yeah. He's like, yeah, feds come to your yard. Yo, listen, 10 minutes later, feds come to my yard. I swear come to my yard. But it was
dreams. It's in my mom. Imagine this. When I had my first son, I went to phone my mom to tell my mom about it, and we had our son's name, and I phoned my mom, and my mom told me my son's name before. It's like, oh no, you don't call him Isaac. I was like, what? It's like I dreamed it. I swear to God. Oh my God,
man! I wonder if we need to bring the young king to the meditation as well for the summer solstice.
Sorry, bring who?
Bring MT, the one talking about the dreams.
Well, you know what? It's whoever's drawn. I'm just pulling it out there. So whoever hears it, they will instantly know through this. They will just I need to.
So
I need to be there.
What do you run? What are you doing? Like a
So what's happening? So what's happening is Golda's hosting an event on the 20th of June. Was it what's the name of the venue?
It was at Highbury Hall in Birmingham.
Okay. And so what will be happening is the event's name is Earth Consciousness and Sustainability, hosted by the Daughters of Earth. Daughters is not necessarily women, literally just child of Earth. And where the whole process of the event is cleansing and clearing the blockages along the earth grids.
Okay. Right, okay. Well, specifically, what we're working with is cleansing and clearing, but we're working with bringing a new timeline in which will support a new elevated consciousness now, because obviously we're in an acceleration in our evolution, and when you're in an acceleration like that, it's easy to become destabilized, and it's easy for the grids to become destabilized as well. And so what I was guided and shown to do was to put this event on in Birmingham for people, Birmingham, the UK, all over, because these grids, they spread throughout the entire globe. Yeah. And so people hold certain frequencies when they come and support that consciousness to elevate the frequency so that timeline can come in. Then what that does is it supports you in your evolution as well, because you can connect into that timeline, and so it's not an easy process, because like I says, it's an alchemical process, and you know, you may have physiological fallout from it. You know, you may get a little bit sick and stuff, because you're really pure, you are purifying, you know, like Nega says, it is a purification. And so at the event as well, there'll be some workshops going on. So from 4 to about 6, there'll be presentations talking about the consciousness of the body, consciousness of the earth, consciousness of your space. And then there'll be workshop. There's going to be a Gridmaster workshop, and there's workshop Amory's doing crystal bowls, so she's bringing in crystal bowls to work with on your frequency. There'll be spoken word. Shashamani's bringing some sacred geometry she's brought through, because all these geometries that these people are creating, they're codes for communication as well. So she'll be doing some spoken word with that. Now she's making some jewelry that she's brought through, and she had to go through a real process just to make this jewelry. She was in pain because she had to birth it, physical pain. Yeah, and so yeah, and like I said, there's another lady who makes clothes according to your soul's nature. So she will look at you and make you an item. According to what comes through. Yeah.
One
so look,
let me just stop you there before you go. One sec. There's 2 things you just said there.
Digest.
Let me stop, because there's 2 major things here.
Yeah, man.
There's
I need to check my back.
The one where you said she's had to birth the jewelry. Yeah. Obviously, well, I'm just saying. I don't think you mean physically, but what do you mean spiritually birth? Like, how is that? Like, explain that, please.
Let me tell you, when she made the jewelry, she went through a birthing process. Physically, in her body, she felt the energy go down from her solar plexus into her womb and stop just by her vagina while she was, and she was in pain, and she had to bring through this jewelry, because you see, we're talking about creation here. We're talking about creation here.
Wow.
With the ley lines in the MT. Sorry to cut your sister.
Yeah.
So basically, you know what ley lines are, don't you?
Yeah. Yes.
No.
MT.
Yeah.
MT.
Yeah.
You know what ley lines are, right? Innit?
No, explain it again. I've heard that name. Let me.
Okay.
A ley line is where energy points, are like flowing through, like the Earth's point. So like, like Glastonbury, and all them festivals, they're on ley lines.
And cathedrals. You see, like how cathedrals are always in the center of every town.
Yeah, running off certain energy. Yeah.
Like that energy is a ley line.
Yeah,
so,
but
like, energy, so, like, when like you look on like when you type on like Google like the map, like the globe, and then you see all them lines like on the globe like go around, like they're like the ley lines, like the centers of the finger, but Earth has its own chakras itself, and they're connected to these ley lines. So the one in Birmingham, because there's ley lines over here, so where we're going is connected to a ley line frequency, and so what you're saying, that woman who's connected obviously to that, like she's been initiated basically through that frequency to do that.
Yeah, so
through the ley lines.
So through her process of creating that, bringing that through, she had to go through a whole birthing process.
So it's like a sacrifice, not a sacrifice, but like you're sacrificing the pain of certain things. Yeah. It's like
in your womb, in the womb.
No, okay, no. Listen, the reason why she had to go through a birthing process, because the energy of what she's bringing through in that jewelry had to be birthed here. It's not here before.
I know you
so
mean.
The energy.
New energy.
The energy.
Yeah.
Yes, the energy that
so it's brand new energy. What's being birthed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
and
see
so
some higher powers,
and
like they've been told that, yo,
Yeah,
you
let her
got to
finish.
make
Let her
these.
finish till she can fully.
Yeah.
yeah, so physiologically, for her to birth that, her body had to go through an alchemical process, which was literally like giving birth to a child.
Okay.
Wow.
Because
Wow.
she phoned me so many times, says, "Golda, I don't think I can do this. I'm in so much pain. I'm giving birth." And I goes, "Look, Mal, it's your process. It's your bath. It's your path. This is your energy that you're birthing. This is a new aspect of yourself that you have not been able to ground into this reality before."
So, okay then. So now with that jewelry, what she would give or sell to people, that is a new power to open up for people, basically.
Open up a consciousness in the people. So it's a part of the grid line consciousness, as what's the first guy's name? I forget.
Ranubis.
Ranubis. Yeah, I should remember that because Ampu, who you call Anubis, is actually one of my beings.
He's one of your guiding beings. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, she birthed it in conjunction with working with the grid, which will support people to bring in that new frequency of the new of the new. Yeah, the new consciousness. I always call it a new path line, and bringing a new path line.
Okay.
What
did you say?
Like
Greek or
basically,
green?
like the Matrix, yeah. How like the Matrix got codes, the Matrix codes. She's
Which
like
question?
tapped into the Matrix code, and that jewel was lined up to the ley line. So whoever buys it on that day offer, and then they just go on with their day. They're thinking elevate around them because you tapped into the ley line.
Right, I didn't get all of your message, but what I think I understand is that the jewelry is supporting the consciousness that we're working with on that day, that we're bringing through the path line on that day. Now, if anyone buys the jewelry, I don't think. Well, I think what she will do, if people want that jewelry, she will make it specifically for them.
For them.
But it is there to support the integration of the consciousness. So say someone buys that jewelry, it will help them to integrate into the consciousness of the new path line.
Okay.
All
So
right.
the next question I wanted to just ask before we
MT,
move.
I'm on 2 seconds. I've got like 2% left on my battery, and this phone don't want to charge. So, what I'm thinking is if we should reschedule another, get Golda back on the live again soon, so we can get some more questions and have a real convo. Because it's the first time she's ever done an Instagram live.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, she's never been on Instagram live.
Just before
so,
you go, then I need to ask this last one. You said give birth, and what was the second one? You said it was the clothes made for you. The person who sees you and should make the clothes for your. So what is she? A spiritual reader? Will she read your spirit, or what? How would that work?
Yeah, so basically, she just tune into the energy of your soul, and then she will make you something according to the energy of your soul. So whatever is being reflected to her, she will be guided to make you something according to your nature.
Okay.
Deep. That is deep. Yeah.
But I used to do it back in the day.
Thing will be looking mad.
So you used to do that as well, yeah?
Well, I used to draw. So I used to look at somebody, and then I would draw them an image that reflected their soul.
Wow.
That's what Africans do. You know when Africans make the clothes?
I don't do it anymore.
Why did you stop doing it?
It was just a little pastime thing, because I did it for a couple of people, and then some other people saw it and go, "Oh, can you do me one?" So then I just did it, but I never sort of like advertised it. It was just a thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because you tapped in, so you was expressing what you were seeing intrinsically.
What was some of the things what you would end up drawing off people? Like, is it like?
I tell you what, I did draw for one girl. I remember
That's
this one. I
insane.
drew an actual. It was an actual ankh that came through. I drew an ankh, and then in it there was some other symbols around the ankh. And then I remember there was this bright light, and then some other symbols which probably aren't from this plane.
Yeah,
You got Queen
different
Sam.
plane.
You get me? All right. Well, listen, brothers and sister,
Symbols.
I'm on 1%. So what I'm gonna organize to bring Sister Golda back on the live, and
Yeah, and charge
obviously
your
we can
phone.
get yes, and I'll make sure you come in early. I get a good portion.
Just
Nah,
out of interest, is it recorded?
Yeah, man, it will be. It's going to be shared.
Right.
It's going to be shared later on. And we're going to be able to share it
yeah, man. Well,
on the
blessings
Instagram.
each and every one.
Yeah, man.
Keep
Give
me
thanks,
up.
family.
Just keep me up. Give me a WhatsApp and let me know what's going on and what time
Definitely will
you
do.
make it. I'll be there, man.
Yeah, man, I will do, brother. Definitely. I'll holler
Yeah.
you later still, definitely.
Alright.
And you,
All
cousin.
right. Nice to meet you as well, sister. Everyone stay
Yeah.
blessed. Can I soon link you? Blessings,
Yeah, man.
blessings.
Give thanks, look forward and,
Yeah, man.
and put some
Anytime, man.
energy.
Come on, man.
Powers, pussy.
Bless up,
Powers.
bless up.
Powers. You done
Okay.
that.
See it.
I'll see ya.
Bye.
Sister Golda, thank you for joining us today
Thank
and blessing us with the knowledge. It's always grateful. Unconditional love. Asante Sada.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, man. And big up everyone who chimed in and tuned in. We're going to reorganize the do one again soon. So anyone can jump in, get some questions in the comments. And
But one thing, right?
yes,
Let's just do one topic.
one topic.
Let's do one
Because
topic.
it's a very, very big scope here. So yeah, definitely. All right, then. Thank you. We'll do that. We'll do our best.
Okay. Bye.
Peace. Unconditional love.